What's going on, everybody? It's Tom.
And it's Jamie. Welcome to the Chronicles of Podcast.
The Chronicles of Bloodstock 2024.
Hi, I'm Morgan. I am the vocalist and guitarist of Moon Reaper.
I'm James and I am the drummer.
I'm Sirin, I'm also one of the vocalists.
Jarrad, I am the other guitarist.
Wonderful, absolute pleasure to have you back once again. I know it's only been about a month or so, but it's an absolute pleasure. How are your personal Sundays treating you?
Well, this Sunday has been particularly great, actually.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. I had an amazing set, so real buzzing and happy to be here. So killer.
It's been. I mean, it is not to get a bit old. It's bloody hot today, isn't it?
It is.
Are we British if we don't talk about the weather?
I mean, it's bloody hot today.
Do you know what I
isn't
mean?
it?
It's just like, we just go, what the fuck is that?
And yesterday, last night, it was freezing.
Oh, I woke up different.
Do you know what I mean?
You woke up a lot different.
Someone is having us on, and I'm not very happy about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, this morning me and Sharon woke up at 6 so we could begin prepping for our vocal warm-ups and stuff. And, we got in my car. Car said 7 degrees outside. There was fog on the campsite. There was literal fog on the fucking campsite. It's 28, 29 degrees today.
Oh my days.
It's ridiculous, this country. We might have to move. We might have to go. I'm not sure I can hack it anymore.
Decided right now, right now.
What the fuck is that about?
That is literally insanity, though. I don't think it knows what it's doing.
Bloody new government ruined the weather, and it's
Keir Starmer sort it out.
unbelievable.
I know there's riots going on right now, but fucking hell, priorities.
What are you doing about the weather crisis?
I don't make it as cold.
Yeah.
It's a little bit colder, but be nice.
Just tepid. Tepid is fine.
I'll sell for 16 degrees only.
Imagine a tea that's been left out too long, but not long enough. Tell you what, we should run for office. I think we've got.
Could you imagine that? It'd be unbelievable. What would the party be called?
A data. It would be a day to remember for a start. That'd be the national anthem.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would. It'd be the national anthem. And all rise, dun 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 dun, and let's go.
Oh, that's what we're making our own new country.
Chronicles of Pod.
Obviously, you played earlier today. How was it?
It was amazing. I mean, this festival is such a community aspect. We mentioned it before. We were honestly, we were worried it was gonna. You worry, you get a bit of imposter syndrome, being like, what if it's empty? I mean, it's a great stage, but it's no good if there's nobody there. Do you know what I mean? Well, the area, I suppose, but it was packed. People turned down. It just, again, it's how Bloodstock is such a good community, and we loved it. It was amazing.
We genuinely overheard people in the arena going, fucking I'm Moon playing tomorrow. I'm so excited to see them.
Really?
A lot of people talk about it, yeah.
That's amazing.
Genuinely.
I saw it on the Bloodstock Facebook group about a week ago as well. People being
James couldn't have said it better with the whole imposter syndrome thing. I didn't know what to expect as to how many people would turn out, knowing it would be hot. It's Sunday. But it felt packed in there, and people were going hard every single song, and I'm so grateful. It was so grateful.
Like the Facebook post, wasn't it? We were seeing them, because you actually get good Wi-Fi where we are. So we saw the Facebook post, and it's obviously they're posting today, and our name's on it. And that's surreal to be like Carcass, Flogging, Molly, Eamon Armagh, Satyricon, and then we're down here, and it's but you're still on the cover photo, you're still on the profile pin. That's oh fuck, that's me. What the fuck did I do?
It's well deserved. That's I have to say, very much well deserved. But compared to a Moon Reaper show, to a festival show, do you change the set list up accordingly? Say, obviously, if people aren't so familiar, maybe.
Do we change the set list?
Yes.
That's a question.
Like the winds change in the seasons, we change set lists.
Unfortunately, there is a very rugged and awful process of us writing out all the fucking songs on a whiteboard and carefully structuring them to suit a specific show. And this guy here, he's a stickler for it. He loves curating a nice set list.
What it actually is that Morgan likes to write a lot of songs and then gets bored of the songs he wrote 3 fucking weeks ago and goes, we should play all of these new songs at the biggest... Learn it! It's like the demo was finished 2 days ago. Yeah, and we should rehearse it in 3 days' time. No, but we do, to answer your question directly, we do we wanted to play the EP in full, because obviously it's been out for a bit and we want to be pushing that. But it is about trying things out live and also feeling out what sort of person is going to be in this crowd. Obviously for Bloodstock, you've got everything from hardcore black metal fans to hardcore fans, so we really want to mix it and get as much as we can in, because then we're ticking as many boxes as possible. Obviously, we're playing Plymouth in Lay of the Month. That's going to be more of a doomy, blackbelly show because people are just there to cry. And I mean, because they're from Plymouth mainly, but we'll cut this bit out. But yeah, we do adapt it. Certainly, yeah. And we do have a rigorous process. We actually kind of enjoy it as much as you.
It's got some weirdly satisfying appeal when you've written out a set list going, yep, those black metal guys are going to hate this.
Yeah. It's actually a tally system, isn't it? There's a band tally system.
Yeah. We vote. We're a democratic band. Democrats on every single song that we're going to put in the set list. And there's always disagreements. Like, oh, don't want to do that one on that.
Well, it's been voted for 3-1, so I guess you're going to have to.
Everyone has their favourites, but one of the things I like about being in this band so much is because we love so many different subgenres of metal, we've been able to blend that into quite a lot of songs, so we can then tailor it to make it the best experience for the listener possible, or at least try to. But yeah, it's a nice thing. Incredible. Although it does cause arguments, but they're also kind of fun, so...
So, obviously, I know we touched on this briefly a couple of weeks ago when we had our chat via Zoom instead of in person, but we, as a podcast, were ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. So we're talking to people at the festival this weekend more about stereotypes and assumptions. Because obviously we were all treated like crap when we were younger because we listened to this sort of music and the way we dressed and whatnot. But what are some of the assumptions that you've had put upon you by complete strangers in the past, just because of the way you dressed, the music you listened to, not just in childhood, even like today?
Well, Jarrad got compared to the vocalist for Coheed and Cambria earlier, which I think is just like he's just given up after that today.
Why?
I've never heard
It's 'cause
I don't know what this reference is, so you're going to have to explain it.
Is your hair like huge when it's not tied up?
Like that, yeah, when everyone does it. So someone comes up to him during a grindcore set, by the way, which is just the most Bloodstock thing, and he goes, "Oh, you look like the guy from Coheed and Cambria." Bearing in mind this person's in his 40s, and Jarrad very much isn't in his 40s. It's been a hard week, Jarrad.
Yeah, well, I can speak to that as well. I used to have dreadlocks down to my waist. There's a fair few assumptions that come along with that one as well. Definitely been asked for less drugs at this festival than other ones, so there you go.
Wow, that's definitely an assumption, yes.
I had a kind of customer party at work a couple of weeks ago, and they were very, very upper middle class people, and they didn't really know what to make of me. They were kind of like, one guy was like, "So what's with the tattoos?" And I was like, how do I answer that? What's with them? Well, they're here now. I can't really do much about it. To explain the tattoos or your entire identity, so some like drunk middle class like white dude is so. I was like, mate, just take your drink and go. I was like, there's no point.
The best one is the ones that come in and are like, "Oh yeah, I listen to AC/DC ones. I would go. It's just not my scene. I just don't think I could do it. It's just a bit too. Yeah, I just don't think I could do 3 days without a washing machine."
The vocals are the things. The riffs are great, but the vocals just a bit harsh for me.
I just want an aria now.
They always say, "Oh, I like the music, I just can't hack the squeeze."
How do you even know what they're saying?
That's my favourite.
How do you even read those logos? I can't. Is it Metallica? I can't even read it. Is it Forest? I don't know. What?
Obviously, what happened to Sophie and when we were growing up, it's a very different world now in 2024. It's a vastly different world. Do you think it's easier to be part of this community now, especially for younger people, than it was when we were growing up?
I think when you're with the community, there's never a problem because the community is phenomenal. Like, I can't praise the metal community high enough because everyone's looking out for each other. Everyone knows what it's like to have been treated like shit at some point. As for new people getting into it, I think it depends on where you are. I grew up in a very small town, so some of the views are a bit more old-fashioned there, so I did stand out like a sore thumb. But if you're in a city or something like that, sometimes it's a little bit more welcoming. Depends on where you are.
I think we mentioned this when we spoke to you last time. I think it's easier to be the community itself's always been welcoming. I think it changes as you get older. So like Morgan and Sirin are getting married, I'm having a baby, and you sort of have your own. Thank you. It was a really hard job, but someone's got to do it, and I'm glad to. I'm glad to take that burden on.
That's about you two as well.
Yeah, and I think it's more that it creeps in. It's like, well, is it responsible for me to wear a dying fetus at stillbirth with a young child? And how do I explain that? And almost you feel like it's the other side of it. Not that I'm not accepted, actually it's not mature enough, and actually...
You were adamant that you were going to wear that shirt to the birth.
No, but yeah, okay.
This was your idea. You said I'm gonna wear my Dying Fetus shirt.
Wear an aborted t-shirt.
That was the other joke. I'd just like to quickly whip this back to like the cities and towns thing, and I would like to point out that Bristol itself is a very like accepting and culturally diverse city. So we are blessed to be in one of those towns, and Brighton is similar. I know London parts is similar as well, and I'm really grateful that we are from Bristol as a band, and that we are very supported in our scene itself. But I'm aware like where Sirin's from, and not so much where I'm from, but there are other small towns where it's difficult, man. It's hard to be there, and you get these odd looks, and people say things and do things sometimes, and it's tough. It's very hard sometimes.
There was a house that I used to walk past on my way to school as like a young teenager every day. And this woman, just because I was alternative, would like hang over her balcony and like shout horrific things, like telling me
What?
Bear in mind, she was probably in her 40s or so at the time, and I was a child, telling me to kill myself. It's horrific, but doesn't happen as
I
much.
can just imagine she was like, oh, do you know what I did today? Oh, I told this child off. Oh, God. It was
Nigel, everyone I yelled at a child, Nigel! What have you done
She
today?
was wearing black and had makeup on.
Unbelievable, not in my day.
In my day,
think-
they were pure.
It's the same as anything though. With the cost of living crisis, the more outward you go and the more remote you go, the more people struggle. So we're lucky to be in a quietly densely bottom. I mean, look at the riots happening. Like Bristol turned out and we showed that what we stand for. Do you know what I mean? So we're lucky in that respect. But you go deeper into like Wales, further north, or into more remote or deprived areas, it is tough. You know, and that's where I guess culture has to take over, and we have to be the leading force in going. It doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter what you're into. You're welcome in this community. You know what I mean? And you can dress and be and identify however you want to be. We're all here to listen to fucking good bands. That's what we're all here to do.
If you like riffs, you're in the crew.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amen.
Bringing it back to you guys though, you did release your latest EP back in June. What is the future looking like now for the band? What's on the plan?
Come on, Jarrad.
Deep breath.
The future, Jarrad.
I've heard this question before.
This way,
yeah?
not this way.
All right, we're playing Plymouth later this month. You better be there if you're in the area. Also got new music coming out next year. Better look out for it. Anything else? Am I missing something?
I don't know. I'm
Birmingham in October.
Birmingham. Everyone yell at the same time. It will be perfect and easy to hear.
Wait, what are we yelling?
Birmingham.
Yeah, Birmingham.
I don't know what my fight stance was, but I felt like I was in a 2000 game. Yeah, literally.
Incredible. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time out to chat with us again. It means the absolute world. It really does.
It's so nice to actually be able to
I need to just before we finish. I have an official presentation as promised, sirs. For your hard
discussed on the
work,
podcast.
there is the official Chalky Knobs. There you are. I cannot guarantee they have not been melted and
I was
resealed.
gonna
That's fine,
say.
but still, thank you so much for a chocky knobs.
Basically mush at this point. It's had your pack of mush.
That's literally what's
It's all
going
the same when it comes out the other end, all right?
on. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you
really
so
appreciate
much.
it. Absolute pleasure.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening.